First of all, do you feel there has been a deterioration in his style of singing?
No, no. I do not notice any deterioration in his performance. That's the long and short of it. And it's a fact. You see, it's rather difficult for me to express these technical points and my free opinion in English, because this medium and music is Oriental, and the language that I'm expressing my opinion is a foreign to me. All the same, I would like to say, I mean, I will combine English with Urdu, and you have got to use appropriate words for it, appropriate terms for it. Acha. Mehdi Hasan, I have been listening since 1961 or 60-61. That was the time he was introduced to Radio Pakistan. I believe he has been singing before that. He claims that he has been singing when he was a child. He also claims that he has been singing in Baroda state or some state, and Alwar, I do not know. So he has been mentioning some states where he has been singing, because his father was there and he was with him. Rajasthan ke log hain, theek hai. So, but basically, not basically, but the first time when I heard him, I think it was 60 or 61. It was one evening, I and my wife were going out to a party. At that time I had a, in the 60-61 we didn't have these transistor radio. Maybe it was just coming or not, but I had the valve radio, those big boxes, decorative pieces where you have got big knobs to turn around and all that. वो मेरे पास था. Suddenly, I was moving out of the house. A voice coming from the radio caught my attention. I was rather in a hurry, but I told my wife, wait for a second, I will just go and listen. This is a new voice, and it's a good voice. I'm attracted by it. Let me go and listen. So I returned to the room where the radio was playing. I heard this man. It was the end of his program. I could hardly hear him sing a verse or two. And then the announcer announced his name. We were just listening to Mehdi Hasan singing so and so ghazal. That was the first time. It was the evening hours, about 7:30 or so. I even remember the time, because the time we were leaving out for the party. Since that time, I was interested in knowing who this man was. Then I asked somebody in the radio about this gentleman. They said he's our staff artist. I said I want to hear him again. At that time, I didn't have much pull in the radio to go and ask for more details or demand a performance from the man or make arrangements to hear him and all that. So I had to wait for my turn. What happened was, exactly at 5 o'clock or 5:10 or 5:05, in those days, every evening there was one ghazal used to be sung by Mehdi Hasan. There came a time, or they had programmed it so, they had managed it so, I do not know. Every day or every alternate day, he was coming on the mic through Radio Pakistan Karachi in the evening hours at 5:05 or 5:10 or 5:15. It was between this time, and the ghazal will last for 5 minutes. I was so much fascinated by that time, and that was the time that I had started recording. Artists from off the air, जिसे कहते हैं हम लोग, recording off the air. I was seated in the office at that time at 5:30, and I could not come. And I used to tell my wife from there, look, it's time for Mehdi Hasan to sing. Could you kindly record it for me? So my wife used to record it at my instructions from my office, and I would come later and listen to what he had sung. This will show my interest in that man right from the beginning in 1960s, early 60s. Even now, I have got about 16 ghazals of Mehdi Hasan recorded in those days. And I do not think the Radio Pakistan or any other agency has these recordings, because I alone have got, I think there are about 16 recordings of his, exclusive recordings. Exclusive in the sense as to how he was singing then, what he has been singing then. There are some ghazals which he sang then and he doesn't sing now anymore. Well, that's a different point. But all this will show you that I have been interested in this man from early 60s. This is 82. So far you can safely say that for over 20 years I have been listening to him with same intensity and fondness. When I was listening to him, I was also making a mental comparison of his progress, of his work, of his performance, of his qualities, of his improvements and his developments. Then came a time when transcription services of Radio Pakistan, which is now called Central Productions, they had taken, what do you say, virtually they took him away from the radio programs. And Mr. Salim Gilani kept him under his direct supervision and control, and made him practice each ghazal for quite some time and rehearse it. And when he was ready, he would record it. In this manner, for 40-50 ghazals they had recorded in those days, transcription service people. Maybe 40, maybe 30, maybe 50, I do not know. I do not know the exact number. This was the second stage of his performance. The first stage that I came to know was broadcasting, live recordings from Radio Pakistan. Then Salim Gilani took him off from live broadcast, took him under his control and recorded exclusively for his transcription service. And those recorded items, well rehearsed and well recorded items, would be sent to various radio stations for broadcast. That was the second stage of this.
That was the stage when he sang Gulo Mein Rang Bhare.
Gulo Mein Rang Bhare was, yes, Gulo Mein Rang Bhare was, I do not know whether he sang first for transcription or he sang later for films, I do not know. But Gulo Mein Rang Bhare is one of his early works, recorded by transcription also. But in the meanwhile, he has given the same song. This, the duration of this song recorded by transcription service, rated for about 6 to 7 minutes, or even more than 5 minutes in any case. Whereas the film song lasts only for 3 minutes or a few seconds. There's a difference between the two. I do not know which was sung first. Incidentally, I have also heard Mr. Faiz was away for some time. This was also in early 60s. So when he returned to Pakistan, or no, when he got his Lenin Prize, immediately after getting his Lenin Prize, Art Council held a function for Mr. Faiz Ahmad Faiz. And Mehdi Hasan was asked to come and sing Gulo Mein Rang Bhare. So at that time, there was no tambura, no sarangi, no harmonium and no tabla. He brought his surmandal and he just sang solo on surmandal Gulo Mein Rang Bhare. I am giving the history of Gulo Mein Rang Bhare since you asked for Gulo Mein Rang Bhare. Well, since that time he has been singing Gulo Mein Rang Bhare also. Now let me repeat, I have been hearing him in live broadcasts. I have heard him through the rehearsed versions by the transcription service. Then his fame caught up with the public. They held functions for him. He went to the functions, he went to functions, and he went to private gatherings, art council, Radio Pakistan concerts. That was the third phase where he started. Then and with the fame of Gulon Mein Rang Bhare and few other songs in films, he had become more popular. His popularity increased in films also. So now, after say about 10 years from 1970, in about 10 years time, that man had his programs from radio, private concerts, and in the films. So he had covered all the media or the opportunities of singing in this country. He hadn't gone out of Pakistan till the time. Maybe he had gone to Afghanistan, I do not know. What I want to say is, by relating his stages and his developments and his various activities in various fields, I just want to prove that I have been in touch with his singing all along. I even wrote, I remember, I think I might have a copy with me, when Gramophone Company, then Gramophone Company was also interested in producing his songs. So they produced a LP of Mehdi Hasan for the first time. I can't recall the date now. Gramophone Company will be able to give you when this was. This was in any case before 70. I wrote, they asked me to write a small write-up at the back of the sleeve disc. So I wrote. I still remember what I wrote, and I still maintain what I wrote is correct. I said, basically, there's one more thing you must understand. Mehdi Hasan, he is a singer. People call him a singer. But his voice quality not in technical form, not in form of music technology. There's voice quality which is used by crooners especially. The people who hold the microphones in their hand very much close to their mouths, say about an inch or two away, and sing so slowly that you can't hear them, but the microphone amplifies it and they move along as they sing. You know, in a restaurant, in foreign restaurant, or people, they are known as crooners. They are not singers. Singer is a performer who just sits in a mahfil, and he sits without the microphones and all that, and he enthralls the audience, and he performs like any musician should do outside this country and all that. I still maintain he's a crooner. There's a difference between a crooner and a musician. He may have learnt music when he was a boy. He may have been singing good enough when he was a boy or when he was a young man. But he came into fame. He had the technique of singing on the mic, and that made him sing so low in volume. I'm hesitant to call him a musician as such. I mean, a singer of great art as such. So I would term him as a crooner, but his singing quality, his knowledge and his voice training, he has. And another thing with Mehdi Hasan you must not forget is that he is one of the very few artists who have lived, in our times, who had worked so hard to attain what he has achieved today. You don't think that music came to Mehdi Hasan so easily. No. His brother may have composed for him. Films may have given him the opportunity. Gramophone Company may have made the records for him. Salim Girani may have had control over his productions. But this man on his own has worked a lot and lot to achieve this position. Worked in the sense he practiced a lot. What we call riyaz, what we call mashq, what we call, to rehearse and rehearse, work and work of it till he got the right thing he wanted. Let me go back to my observation about the record sleeve that I said. I wrote in that record sleeve, I have yet to hear a voice which could attract the listener, arrest the listener instantaneously the moment he heard his voice. This is one quality in Mehdi Hasan which I haven't found in anybody else. You listen to him, you let his voice fall on your eardrums. You will feel, if you are a music lover, you will immediately feel arrested with his voice and be attached to him. And now, after that, I will not claim that you can remain attached to him throughout the ghazal or remain attached to him all the evening that he sings. No. For quite some time, for a minute or two or three, he keeps you arrested immediately. There's instantaneous arrest it is. It is not that slowly grows on you and catches you, you like him, he also gets into you. It's not that. His voice strikes to your eardrums and you are caught. Of course, you get out of his clutches very soon. It depends upon how much he is stronger to you, how much you like him, or how much you get interested in him. That's a different point. But this is something which I haven't come across in anybody. In his class. Let me repeat, he is not a classical singer. He is not a classical singer. He is a man who sings ghazals. I am speaking of an artist who sings ghazals. I am not classifying him as a classical singer. I am not classifying him as a great musician or a knowledgeable person or anything like this. No. I am all the time, all along, I should have told you right in the beginning, all along I am speaking to him, referring to him as a ghazal singer. Mehdi Hasan is a ghazal singer only. He may sing Pahadi, he may sing Maan, which he is quite conversant with because he comes from that area. He can sing Maan very, very beautifully. He sings Kafis, he sings Thumris and Dadaras too. But I would not discuss on that point because Mehdi Hasan is not known for these things. Like any other artist, they sing so many things and yet they classify themselves, they qualify themselves or they outshine themselves in one part of the music. So his part and the only part that he can be always referred to as long as he lives and after he lives for many years to come. I must also say that I have been actively associated, actively, not only listening to it, taking part in music itself, active participation. My history dates back to exactly more than 50 years. In 50 years, in various parts of India, Madras, Bombay, Karachi, Delhi, all these places I have been listening. All the artists, classical or otherwise, I have been listening. For 50 years I have been listening. So when I am speaking, when I am classifying this man, I am only classifying him in ghazal singing and not him. He is not a classical singer. He is not a folk singer. He is nothing but. And for the past 50 years, I have heard many people sing ghazals. Even ustads sing ghazals. Big ustads like Fayaz Hussain Khan. He has been singing ghazals too. Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. He has sung one or two ghazals. I think I have got one or two ghazals of it with me. And then there have been Zuhra Bai, I mean person like Zuhra Bai, like Paris Saab. These are the Zamiruddin Khan. These are the giants of music, and they have been singing ghazals too. But the way of his presentation ghazals is something superb. I do not remember to have heard anyone with such style and comprehensiveness, full of melody, expression, all that is related to ghazal in anybody else than Mehdi Hasan.
You mean that he is the best ghazal singer?
I have heard so far, produced so far. I have. Before 50 years, if somebody has been 60 years or 70 years, if somebody has been there, I do not know. I haven't heard them. For 50 years, I have been actively associated, and in my library, I have got records of 70 or 65 or 70 years old records. I have got of ghazals too. You can hear them, and you can hear Mehdi Ghazal now, and you will know what the difference is.
How much of a collection do you have of Mehdi Hasan? How many ghazals?
Oh, I may have about. I can just refer to you and tell you, but this is an old assessment. Since then, I have amassed.
You recorded some more.
Mehdi Hasan. I have got Mehdi Hasans in two forms. One in basic ghazals, what they call it in according to gramophone company's term, they call it basic ghazals. That means non-filmy ghazals. I have got about 187 ghazals of Mehdi Hasan, but this is an old thing, it's about 3 years old. So that must have been risen by now by about 225 or so, 225 ghazals, 225 ghazals, or more than 200 ghazals by now. And I got about 90 ghazals of films from the films. So I won't talk about film music at all, because film music is not his music. There is someone who composes it. And he's paid for it. Of course he's paid for it in other things also, but he hasn't got his own choice. There's a director, there is the music director, there's a lyric writer, and there's a composer, and he has got to project a particular scene, a particular mood of the film and story of the film. So I would not discuss at all, even not talk about film music.
Do you think it has affected the quality of the singing?
No, in no way. I mean, it may have marred his mass production work, may have marred his fame and popularity, perhaps. That's a different thing. Maybe the people have got maybe interest that he's singing anything and everything in all trash like that, perhaps. When that is why I'm excluding his film ghazals. You see, when you speak of voice quality does not deteriorate. The way he has been practicing, the lines on which he has been singing so far, there is no chance of deteriorating his performance quality or his singing quality. No chance whatsoever. On the contrary, I feel that day by day his voice is becoming more stable, more melodious, more सुरेली. वो जिसे कहते हैं ना, इसमें इस्तिकामत आ गई है आवाज में, ठहराव आ गया है उसके अंदर. And it's a great thing in voice. एक सुर पे जगह जगह पर सुर पे वो जहाँ ठहर जाता है, पूरी सुर की कैफियतें वो भर देता है आपके साथ. पहले ये कम था, अब ज्यादा हो गया है. In fact, I find that he is more. You see, all you have got to do is put on his old ghazals. You see, you can't talk to me only on when you have come here. You just can't talk to me only on hearsay matters. I have got results to. I have got proof to show it to you. Here is the ghazal which is sang in 61. Here is the ghazal which is sang in 65. Here is the ghazal which is sang in 70. Here is the ghazal which is sang in records. Here is the ghazal which is sang for transcription. Here is the ghazal sang for Indian embassy. Here is the ghazal sang after he was fully drunk. Or here is the ghazal which is sang early in the evening. You can put all of them and find out. When I'm saying a thing, I'm saying with substantial evidence before me.
Have you heard some of the concerts the TV held, जैसे आर्ट काउंसिल पे एक हुआ था, या मतलब टेलीविजन पे भी recently हुए हैं some of the programs?
Television पर I have heard.
महफिल शब.
Yes, I've heard that. I have heard that. You see, that's a different thing. What people are thinking about is.
Because the normal people, मतलब हर एक को तो महफिल में नहीं वो महफिलें लोग घरों पे होती हैं. Everyone is not there, you know. It's what I see, for instance, on television.
Yes.
Or here on radio.
Okay. There's a lot of difference between television mahfils and art council mahfils. There's a lot of difference between television mahfils and the private mahfils. In private mahfils and even in art council mahfils, Mehdi Hasan sings on his own. In TV, As far as I know, they dictate him what to sing, whom to sing. I will tell you a very interesting incident. It was in 55 or 54, I don't remember the date, or maybe in the 60s perhaps. At that time the Indian embassy was here, I mean High Commission was here. अब तो कॉन्सुलेट है ना यहाँ का, पहले वो था या कुछ था, ऐसे ही था। उस वक्त पर यहाँ अख्तरी बाई फैजाबादी को उन्होंने बुलाया था। I don't remember the date now. No, Akhtari Bai Faizabadi is a great name in ghazal singing, greatest name for ever ghazal singing among ladies. She was given a performance, asked to give a performance in Theosophical Society, Theosophical Hall, opposite Radio Pakistan. So she was there, a lot of crowd was there. I happened to be there too. Some bright guy thought that she must sing his ghazal. They wrote down a ghazal for her and she kept it before the harmonium. It was the newest ghazal that she had thought. New words, new form, new everything for her. So if you think, I mean, she is a मंझी हुई औरत और पुख्ता औरत, गाने वाली पुरानी औरत, जब भी आवाज लगाती सही आवाज लगाती, जब भी गाती वो आंख बंद कर सो रहा है, उठा दो गाएगी तो आवाज अच्छी आएगी. A person like that, she sang one or two verses and she openly threw away the paper. She said, no, I can't sing this ghazal. The same thing happened and about few years ago. When I say few years, it was about 10 years ago, I think, or 10, 12 years ago. Gramophone company held a concert, and even there somebody gave him some ghazals, even five sab ghazals. No, I'm still speaking about Akhtari Bai Faizabadi. She was given there. She couldn't recite because these were not the verses or the ghazals or the formats she has not been singing. You see, ghazal singing is something not like that. You can just quote a thing, the man will sing. When we call a manjhi hui ghazal, एक मशहूर ghazal, एक अच्छी ghazal, that is a ghazal which has been reversed 1,000 times, sung in 1,000 ways, sung at different places in many a times. With that a man gets पूरा मजा हुआ, सुर में उसके नोक पलक उसको दुरुस्त हो जाते हैं, उसके हर बात कहाँ उसके मकामात मुतय्यन हो जाते हैं. There is a term known as मुकाम, उसका हर एक का मुकाम एक जगह जाकर मुतय्यन हो जाता है. Then the man comes out with it and then he improvises upon it, he develops upon it, but the basic thing has got into him long before that. So if you give a film ghazal to him today and ask him to sing tomorrow, he will rehearse and give it to the dog. But that thing has not gone deep into his heart. That thing he hasn't practiced well at all. He hasn't rehearsed well. He has not got into him. A musician, a ghazal singer especially, he must get all that stuff into him first. He must digest it. He must practice it. He must rehearse it. He must find the ways and means of expressing each word in the best possible manner. It's only then you hear what you hear the best. So if TV people says फुला की नासिर कागजी उनका गाइए आप, सलीम अहमद की गजल गा लीजिए, फुला की गजल गा लीजिए, this is all right, I am paid, I will sing. But that's the ghazal he hasn't learned to sing. Even Mehdi Hasan has got to learn to sing for anything. It just doesn't come for a singer to give him a new ghazal, he will sing accordingly. मैंने तो कभी आज तक किसी आर्टिस्ट को नहीं सुना कि आप ghazal गा के उठ जाएगा. Maybe some ordinary person can do it, but people who are, who know what to do, if you have heard them at their best, so you have got to give them full time for things to rehearse. They practice at home, they concoct something, they make something, they compose something. अच्छा टीवी की उनकी अपनी कंपोजिशन, खलील अहमद साहब थे, या कोई साहब है, निसार बज़मी साहब हैं, या कोई साहब है, उन्होंने कंपोज कर दिया था, अब इस पे गा दिए. Maybe that composition doesn't suit his voice. You see, each voice has got a trend to sing a particular composition, a particular thing, a particular form. If you sit and give him something, for example, there is a person who can sing only low notes. If a composer makes him, a composition of high notes, he can't sing at all because his voice doesn't react to those notes in the higher pitch. So TV people or even things like this, I am not interested. I am not even considering them as performances. When I am speaking of performances, I am speaking of what Mehdi Hasan himself chooses to say. There is his choice. Of course, his choice. In ghazal forms, in choice of ghazals, he is not very exclusive. For that matter, even Akhtar Faizabadi was not very exclusive in it. She would sing anybody who would come and say, "भाई हमारा काम हमारा गा दो, हमारा नाम हो जाएगा, अच्छा तुम्हारा गा देंगे." अब उसको लेके रिहर्स कर रहे हैं, उसको लेके गा रहे हैं, अच्छा पेश कर रहे हैं. So kalam wise, I would not be impressed about it. I would not say कि kalam wise. I do not know. Somebody. You see, these people basically. I wouldn't like to quote this. Basically, they are not literate people. Literate people. The man who literate, he will say, all right, I will sing Faiz, I will sing Ghalib, I will sing Dard, Atish, Nasikh, Musafi. ये तो हमारे असातिज़ा हैं, दाग या कोई ऐसी चीज़ है. आप उनका कलाम गाइए, वो तो समझ में नहीं आता. किसी ने फलां कह दिया कि साहब, हाँ साहब आप बहुत ये हैं, मैं गरीब आदमी हूँ, आप मुझे गाएंगे तो मेरा नाम उसमें बढ़ जाएगा, मेरा फायदा होगा. अच्छा भैया चलो वो तुम्हारा कर लेते हैं. वो क्या बात है भाई, हम जो भी गा देंगे वो मशहूर हो जाएगा. मशहूर तो हो जाता है, बट कलाम वाइज इट्स नथिंग. मशहूर तो वो हो गया उस आदमी, इनकी गजल ही मशहूर हो गई, बट इट हैजंट इम्प्रेस्ड पीपल मीनिंग वाइज. मफहूम के एतबार से, सब्जेक्ट के एतबार से वो बात वो स्टैंडर्ड नहीं हुई. तो ये अक्सर वो बेशतर लोगों में ये बुराई है. लोगों में एक बात याद रखो, अक्सर और बेशतर लोगों में इस बात की बुराई है कि जो भी आजकल गाता है या पहले भी गाता था, वो किसी के कहने से गा लिया करता था. ही डजंट गो टू लिटरेरी मैन आस्क हिम कि भाई मैं गजल गाना चाहता हूँ, किसकी गजल गाऊं, कौन सी अच्छी गजल है. अगर वो गजल है तो उसमें 12 उसमें मिसरे हैं, 11 मिसरे हैं, 11 मिसरे में मुझे 4 का इंतखाब करके दीजिए, 3 का इंतखाब करके दीजिए. Then you see, Mehdi Hasan even today, he mixes up all kinds of Faisabi ghazal. The other day he was singing and he mixed up somebody else's ghazal also, some verses, all that one. He just made an ordinary apology and then he inserted that ghazal. All वो एक हमारे दोस्त हैं महेंद्र सिंह बेदी, उनका एक शेर था, उसमें डाल दिया और ये कहकर डाला था मैं डाल रहा हूँ. You dare not do it. You dare not do it, but he did it. So I am not talking of his understanding of ghazal or the verses or the literary part of it. I am only speaking of his performances, his voice quality and his performance, his sincerity about it, his application of the voice.
There used to be at one time, I remember, the variations होते थे, अगर धुआं की कितने variations होते थे जैसे.
हाँ.
अब that is lost appeal. I mean, it's straight singing. Why? Those variations have, lessened.
नहीं बेटे. Well, I'll tell you what. उस धुआं को, if you refer to that धुआं गजल है ना, तो उसने उसको और परफेक्ट कर लिया.
I think the variation धुआं के वो बता देते हैं, मतलब that's not there anymore.
हाँ, उसने 2 एक मिस कर दिया होगा, 2 ऐसे ही. I mean, one need not enact all that he has done before. It depends upon the mood of a person. Not that he is not capable of doing it. Man is capable of doing it much more than what he was doing today. I am repeatedly telling you, which is the basic point of our discussion. Which is the basic point of our discussion is whether he is deteriorating or improving. I claim that he has improved. Something. I claim that he has improved since then. In no way has deteriorated. अगर तुमने धुआं का उसमें वेरिएशन नहीं सुना है तो perhaps he chose not to do it, but he did something else on that day which I heard. I have got that record with me. I have got that copy with me. I can show you. ये धुआं सा कहाँ से उठता है, ये धुआं सा कहाँ से उठता है. These are the words. What he did was on that day, सा को उसने उड़ा दिया. सा उसने कहा ही नहीं throughout. And yet you had the feeling he has said the word sa. It's an art. It's an art of expression. Like in Mushaira, for example, people recite 3/4 of the Mushaira. If it's a good verse, all the rest of the people complete the sentence. Have you listened to it like this? No, you haven't. Perhaps you haven't. It happens so amongst the good poets. in big mushairas. I mean, a very good man. I mean, it's a popular side of a poet that he recites the एक शेर के दो मिसरे होते हैं. तो पहला मिसरा तो उन्होंने पढ़ दिया, मिसरे उला कहते हैं, मिसरा पढ़ दिया. मिसरे सानी का 3/4 पढ़ा या हाफ पढ़ा, और बाकी सारा मजमा जो है, विदाउट हियरिंग हिम व्हाट ही वाज गोइंग टू से, दे कंप्लीट हिज थिंग, ही लीव्स इट लाइक दिस, and the rest of the crowd joins him saying what he said that, and he doesn't say it. Are you getting the point? He doesn't say the last word. The audience fill up the gap instantaneously, spontaneously they do it. So he had adopted that thing. I have got that record. I have got that recording of it. He doesn't say even sa, ye dhua sa. He even say that sa also. He just say ye dhua kahan se uthta hai. But he says it so that you can hear it, you can feel that he's already said sa. But if you hear him closely, he hasn't said even sa about it. That's an improvement on that ghazal. You see? That's not a deterioration, it's an improvement on the ghazal. He may not have performed a particular variation that you have in you. He knows it. He may not have chosen to do it. Why should you think that he can't do it? What makes you think he can't do it?
No, I'm not saying that. And this is what I'm resenting the fact that why isn't he doing it?
No, perhaps he's choosing not to do it.
But
But
he's choosing जो film की जो है रंजिश ही सही और ये गाना शुरू कर देता था. Why doesn't?
because people send him those chits.
Well, that's very sad. Then he should.
That's too bad for him. That's too bad. It's not his mistake. Now, speaking of the voice quality, if somebody says that with the age voice deteriorates, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. All these giants who have been singing, of course, if they are physically disabled, that's a different matter. For example, Allah Diya Khan, I have heard him when he was shaking man, he couldn't even walk. He was brought to the stage. He just applied his voice in a very funny manner. He got out and people clapped him, applauded him. वो दूसरी बात है. If the man is singing, performing, moving about, and is in good health, and he is aged, believe me, his voice is improving day by day. Now, for example, Abdul Karim Khan Sahab, one of the greatest singers that this century has ever produced, or past century has ever produced, greatest man on singing. His best records, which are now heard by everybody, acclaimed as the best performance of the day, he sang at the age of 72. He was 72, well over 70 years. There is one Dr. Mama here, Banu, lady Dr. Banu. Uska ek uncle hai, Parsi. He was the recordist in those days. You go and ask her. She will relate her uncle's version who recorded in Colombia and in Bombay. He was an aged man, 72 years, well over 70, and he sings what is acclaimed to the best part ever has sung today.
How old is Nigel?
I do not know. So long a singer is in good physical health, there is nothing wrong comes to his voice. In fact, it improves, it matures, it mellows. It's a very wrong claim to say that with the age the voice goes. Of course, if you are a disabled person, that's a different matter. If you are paralyzed, if you have lost all your teeth, if you can't do anything, you have no energy left. If a man who walks about, a man who performs, a man who earns, the man who sings, the man who is active, and he is aged, believe me, his voice is a good voice, provided he has worked before. Like Mehdi Hasan has worked on his voice. He has labored a lot on his voice to bring what his voice. It's the greatest quality. It's a voice which I have heard from anybody else in herbal singing. To produce a voice like that, the mellowness, the richness, the stability in the voice, the maturity in the voice, something great.
What would you say were his best years, according to you? Sort of.
Oh, he's growing. He is growing.
So you wouldn't sort of think
Perhaps you will say that आवाज में खराश आई है. So some people have been saying आवाज में खराश आई है. What we call खराश is not a. For example, again let me quote Akhtari from Faizabadi. When she used to sing, when she would go on the top pitch, उसकी आवाज आगे फट जाती थी. And yet she was acclaimed to the best singer among the ladies. अगर इसकी आवाज में खराश आई है और फिर सुर में भी है. देखो, एक आदमी का सुर में होना, एक आदमी का बेसुरा हुए बगैर गाना, एक आदमी का एक सुर पे क़याम करना और उसी अंदाज से रात भर गाते रहना और उस ईज से गाना और वो तमाम खूबियों के साथ गाना, अगर उसमें खराश आया तो आई वुडंट बॉदर्ड अबाउट इट. खराश इज नॉट द ओनली थिंग. If you want to hear Kharash's voice, hear a child, he has got no Kharash, she or he has got no Kharash in the voice, you keep on hearing that one. What is Kharash? Nothing. When you speak of voice quality, singing, music, Kharash doesn't matter the music to me.